Hi, it is iYikkam time again. So today I received one very interesting questions from many of our Wing Chunner friends around the world. And the question is asking me that is it true that the stance which I call it idiotic is the teaching of the red boat for the uprising? Okay. So that's how those idiotic stands get into Wing Chun. So the question is that true? Well, we need to look at the thing really carefully here. Okay. As for the idiotic stance, by evidence, that cannot be from the red boat. Okay, it cannot be red boat. Because if you think about it, in an uprising, okay, people can die, okay, and you train those idiotic type of stuff there, and you just suicide. So you just don't want to say that those kind of stuff is from the red boat. Many Wing Chuners like to use the ancient story to say, hey, you know, this is from the red boat, this is for the uprising from by our Wing Chun ancestor. But it doesn't make a sense at all, okay, because those idiotic stands couldn't even develop how to move properly, but it ended up to be a very bad habit of the whole body. The footwork, everything is sluggish and clumsy. How can you really use it for fight? Okay, saying so, I like to share with you the following. Okay, I have actually investigate into the Chinese, how they modified their martial arts for the warfare. Okay, for example, a really famous one is the 29th Route Army. Okay, the 29th Route Army. This is in the war between the China and and Japanese, for the Japanese invasion. Okay, so what happened is that the Chinese doesn't have the weapon like the Japanese. Okay, so their solutions is using broad knife. Okay, the broad knife. So they train their army. Okay, this broad knife team, the Army 29. Okay, they train this group of people, and with this broadsword techniques, and they attack the Japanese at night time. Okay, so you can see that the record is that they send like 500 the broadsword army in there at night, and they take out, say, about 2,000-3,000 Japanese army. Okay, because they attack at night, they take out all this army, and in the daytime they cannot do that, right? Because Japanese army have their guns and so forth, and the Chinese army is so poor that they don't have those things. So we need to be careful here. Okay, this is my point. Okay, 500 broadsword army go for the attack. You know how many people return the next day? 30 people. 30 people. So 470 out of 500 die. Okay. And Japanese loss is as we know, around 3,000. So that's how it is. Now, the broadsword techniques. So they have a group of martial artists. They actually using Qi Ji Guang's broadsword technique from the 1560 and other experts' broadsword techniques. They tailor it to 8 or 12 moves, between 8 and 12 moves. They train these people, they go in, they attack the Japanese army. Okay? Now, there are two scenarios here, or two class of people here. One is the army itself, themselves. So they were trained with minimum, which is tailored to go against the Japanese army, especially like, you know, the spear, and what do you call it, the knife in front of the guns, those kind of stuff, or samurai sword. Okay, they train for that. So their broadsword techniques is tailored for those stuff, just to counter those stuff. That's it. Okay. So the army who go for the attack only learn that. And of course, months they drill and drill again. They only know that. Now, I have very lucky that I have seen this broadsword techniques. Okay, I don't see all, but I have the riding. Okay, the quick riding, and I saw a few moves of the broadsword demo to me. Okay, it's all momentum. Okay, and everything is pendulum. They make use of momentum. It is like they block the knife, like using the broadsword, one broadsword, block it and then slash down. Okay, it's in the elliptical momentum or trajectory. Okay, block and smash, and if they cannot get the neck, they just go under and so forth. So it's very lively momentum. It's elliptical. It's using of the momentum. Okay, it's continuity, right? When people trust in how they, so all this thing is momentum, you know, like the trajectory, using the elliptical and make use of momentum. So that's what the army using. Okay, but it is sad, isn't it? Okay, you send these people to fight, you know they never come back for the most. Okay, now looking at the broadsword techniques, that's the reason I tell you guys that it is bullshit if you're saying that you train in this idiotic iYikkam, you can do the fighting in the Red Book. It is the fact that for this broadsword, like the Army 29, if you chop in front, you keeping going, you cannot pull back. When the blood, okay, splash out, one don't even rub one's face. That's how severe it is. Continue go. If you stop for a minute, you get chopped or you get struck by other people. You don't know. So it's highly mobility. Okay. So that is how a real war is about. It is really sad, isn't it? People killing people this way. On the other hand, you look at those idiot stands. You said that can be using in this kinds of really intense life and death fighting. Forget about it. The body couldn't even move. Okay? So compare with the real deal. I hope you see the picture here. Okay? Now, the army who learn it have this mentality. I know this 12, I know this 8, I'm fluent with it, I just go do it. Okay? the guy who designed that, the broadsword techniques, is a different story. It is a different story. Okay? So I want to bring up the spiral dynamics is to share with you that the guy who designed the broadsword type of stuff, or our ancestor who planned and designed for whatever training in the uprising, have a mentality of the yellow in the spiral dynamics, which is uncertainty is an acceptable state. Uncertainty is an acceptable state. The reason I bring this is to share with you that this is a good model. Those top grandmasters who be able to tailor the techniques, for them there's nothing fixed. That's why I said that the yellow, as described here, yellow, uncertainty is an acceptable state. Everything can be changed. They just tailor the art. And we need to know now how much art they have for them be able to tailor that or narrow down to that only that narrow thing which is using or suitable for that warfare. Okay. So if you I hope that you have a picture like, that those grandmaster is the guy is like the designer in Silicon Valley, or the top architect in the building architect in New York. They can play magic, and the limit is sky high. Okay. However, the army who learn that will be, they know only the 8 or the 12 for this, like for example for this Army 29. And the mentality of the purple, according to spiral dynamic, is collaborate for safety and survival. Okay, so you see the difference of the mentality here. One is collaborate for the safety and survival. The other one is uncertainty is an acceptable state. Now, for the army, say at Red Boat time, their mentality, they learn these techniques. Their mentality is collaborate for safety and survival. Okay, it's just really rigid techniques. You just execute this. For the grandmaster who tailor their techniques for them, is the guy who can accept uncertainty as an acceptable state. So you know that those who be able to accept uncertainty as an acceptable state is the person who can flow, like Bruce Lee said, flow with it. And the guy who go fighting will collaborate for the safety and survival is just very rigid. Say, okay, this is the 8 style, this is the 12 style. You just learn this movement and you go fighting. Okay. Now, the issue is here. Most people we know today, most Wing Chun lineages we know today, is based on this purple type of mentality. Collaborate for safety and survival type. They have rigid, they are sets. Okay? They are not the yellow type where uncertainty is an acceptable state. Those type of guys like Bruce Lee. Okay? Now, whatever they teach in the Red Book, for the people who is corroborate for safety and survival, learning this fixed thing, okay, 12 or 8, after 160 years, or we don't need to have 160 years. After 10 years, is this still what it is? Obviously, it's distorted like crazy already, okay? As what I mentioned, the real life of the 29th Army when they fought the Japanese is you got the knife, broadsword, you go chop in front, it doesn't matter what happened, you just continue on, and this is the using the 8 style or the 12 style which you learn, or 8 move or 12 move which is you learn. You just go, you see whatever, you just execute the momentum, period. Okay? Very dynamic. Now you look at the idiotic stance. They couldn't even move. Okay? If you put those type of people, I mean, if you put the people who train this in this idiotic stance, go fighting, you guarantee everybody is gone. Okay? The effectiveness and efficiency will be 0 compared with this the 29th Army. Well, reality is like that. Okay, so we cannot boasting about, oh, this is from the Red Book. Are you sure? Is that logical? It make it common sense in the battlefield. You use this kind of stuff, and do you take account considerations of what distorted? Okay. So that's why I say it's, you know, in a diplomatic way, we'll say it's very, very not likely those idiotic stance is going to use in Red Book for real life. And of course, in the undiplomatic way, we say, come on, it's bullshit. Okay. Are you kidding? Okay. And over here, I like to tell you too. People say internal art, this and that. Well, have you seen any internal art people joining this kinds of stuff? But I can tell you, the Grandmaster Chui Jiong of Chai Lei Fat was teaching in the 19th Army, the broadsword, against the Japanese troops. The Chai Lei Fat broadsword. Okay. So in Chinese martial art, we need to be careful when we look into it. We need to look at who really in the war zone. Like General Qi Ji Guang, he's there. The whoever linked with the 29th Army broadsword team against the Japanese is there. Chai Lei Fat is there because the Army 19, which is fought with Japanese. So we know this is reality stuff. Okay, and you can use that as a reference when somebody say, oh, you know, in the Red Book time, Lei Man Mao, iYikkam, and all these people, when they're uprising, oh, this is the way how they do it. I say, look at this. Come on, is it? Compared with all what happened in this 29th Army and 19th Army, does it make any sense at all? Okay. It doesn't make sense, obviously. Okay, because we now know with the data of the group of the people who really fought there and their descendants, we know there is a momentum play, and because it is a momentum play, the body, the footwork, the stance handling better to be very dynamic, or not you just send your army to die, to get killed. Okay. And I don't think Lei Man Mao and iYikkam and all these people, our ancestors in Red Book, is that stupid or idiot. Okay. So let's not just putting everything, say, oh, this is from Red Book. Red Book what? Okay. Read Chinese history. And as what I like to share with you, the reason I like to share with you all these things is this: we today have so much information which we can retrieve. Okay, let's not make it to like be very surface. I know one term or two story, and then I call myself a grandmaster. We need to dig in. As what I show you, this 29 army, the 19 army, and so forth. Then we know, okay, where multiple data point to check in, is certain story or whatever certain thing is proper or not, instead of saying, oh, my grandmaster say that. Well, you can say that. And as for the red boat, if you look at the Wing Chun 6-point half pole, okay, a lot of the 6-point half pole standing there playing the 6-and-a-half pole, you know that those things is derived from the boat when you stand on the boat, okay. But the Yikkam 6-point half pole is not that type, because it deals with 6.5 momentum. So you know this is not that the art which is it was tailored for a particular purpose. Okay. So I want to leave you guys that this information, we need to be really careful. Like an engineer, we look into the thing and all the root cause there, and so we can see more clearly. They got nothing to do with which lineage is better or whatever. We want to see what it is and it is. Otherwise, are we going to send our Wing Chunner out there to get wiped out, to get ass kicked? Because we're thinking all this kinds of stuff. Okay. And what I can say with you more is this: we are these spiral dynamics. Okay, I mentioned here that the yellow, the guy who can uncertainty is acceptable, is an acceptable state, like Bruce Lee. Uncertainty is acceptable. Well, if one do not have this mentality and this mindset, and the living and the training of uncertainty is an acceptable usual state, then one cannot flow. Okay. Those who are looking for like the purple, corroborate for safety and survival, will say, okay, I want this and this, I just want to do my job, the rest I don't want to know. Okay. And then when things change, they get scared, because it's, how come this is changing? But the guy who play with uncertainty, you say, well, okay. So you look at the Bruce Lee stuff is like that. Okay, if it doesn't work, I change it. So if Wing Chun is not good enough, I'm going to improve it. Read Bruce Lee's writing. Okay, be it he is extremely good or not is a different story, but his mentality is that way. Okay, and the purple guy, I'm not belong to the purple level of the spiral dynamic. We say, well, I want this square, this box has to be this way and this way, according to my grandmaster, according to this and that. But even if they distort it themselves, they don't know. Okay. Now, there's a key issue here on the uncertainty is an acceptable state. Okay, development. The Chinese have the technology to do that, and today you rarely see it. And that's where it linked to Qigong and all this kind of thing, and that's what I want to share with you. Number one, 6-13-3 is kindergarten. Okay, 6-13-3, 6 core element is kindergarten. It's just kindergarten, because I am a kindergarten guy, so I can only tell you about kindergarten. Okay, so in the 6-13-3, you need to first work with your body, your mind, and your breathing, right? And then your qi and then your force flow, and then your momentum. Well, you know what? This is a kindergarten. Because at this level, one's mind and one's body cannot be transformed. It's not enough energy to transform into the yellow type, unless you were born with it. Okay, Bruce Lee, I think very likely he was born with it. He's talented. Okay, if we are not born with it, how can we get there? Okay, that's what I want to tell you. I want to share with you. So 613.3 is just kindergarten. Okay, once one be able to handle 613.3, the real deal is here. The real deal is one get into the training like the anapanasati, the using the breathing, get into the state of the mind stability. Because when the breathing rest, remember what I'm saying, inhale, exhale, and rest. When they rest for a long time, the mind stability get stable and is develop this very stable mind stability. The longer that resting of the breathing, the longer the rest of the mind, that is where one get into samadhi, the stillness. That's a real deal. And when one is in the stillness, that is where one can get into the development or the state of the yellow. Because when the mind get into that state, that stability, uncertainty doesn't scare him anymore. You just look at things, oh, okay, change it. But the guy like us who don't even know much about the 613.3, something happened, we jump, okay? Or we say, oh, it has to be this way. It has to be doing this idiotic stance, otherwise it's not Wing Chun. But the guy who enters samadhi, who can look at that thing without their mind moving, they see the thing. Uncertainty is a game. It's okay. So that's the reason why you see like Bruce Lee, they quote Zen, okay? And a lot of people quoting Zen, but you know, the guy who really know this state, this yellow state, this flex flow state, okay, the yellow in the spiral dynamics. And the guy who know how to train know that the 613.3 and on the top 613.3 go to anapanasati, the breathing in, the mind, and that is where the real qi gong, the qi, handling of the qi coming in. That's why when people told me about qi or sinking qi, I said bullshit. Because I have teacher. I cannot do it. I have teacher who is there, okay? Get into the samadhi state. So even though I only kindergarten, but I know certain people is there. I know their signature. I know their how to get there for them, not me. Okay, I don't have that功夫. And of course, there's somebody who can be born talent. Okay, like a lot of CEO. I have a lot of friends CEO in the valley who born that way. Even me. I practice the 613.3 and settle and all these techniques. My settlement is not as good as them. I know they born with it, okay? And they look at the thing and the Wall Street can go up and down and so forth. Like they are in this tidal wave and they can be still and say, no problem, let's solve this, solve this, solve this. Those are yellow type of yellow level on top. Humans have those things, okay? Now, if you look at back in the like us who is in purple, we probably freaked out and cannot sleep all night long because we don't know what the heck we should do, right? So this is the facts, okay? And that's why if you want to talk about qi, unless your mind is that settled and uncertainty is okay, there's not much you can do about qi. And these days people advertise on, oh, you know, practice qigong can cure cancer. I know, if you get into the samadhi state, as what I said, finish the 6-13-3, get into when the mind rests, the breathing rests, like not breathing, rest, okay? When you enter into that and get longer and longer, get the samadhi, only if you reach that state, you have the chance to change your body, to transform your body, to heal your sickness, major sickness. Otherwise, forget about it. It's just talk. And most people today don't even be able to reach the 6-13 state, 6-13-3 state. Look at the qigong, playing around with all these sensations and all this, using the alpha wave to trigger this, and they say, oh yeah, I got this qi and so forth. That's completely different than when one get into this mind and breathing rest state. That state is getting into, like, I mean that the baby erection state and deeper. Let the body rest and balance itself, because that is the only chance. You cannot manipulate the thing because our mind doesn't know our body, okay? So you put it in that state that the body, like, back to the baby state, let it balance itself and strengthen itself. Okay, so yes, whoever enter into that state be able to do magic on their body healing. Okay, but we are far away. And today when I talk 6-13-3, everybody says, yeah, I know too, I know this energy, mind and body. You know, sometimes for God's sake, you know, please go investigate more what's happened in this world. And so, for this flow, like Bruce Lee said, flow, and then uncertainty is acceptable, no sweat, no problem, okay? For uncertainty, that's why they quote Zen and those kind of things, because the guy who Zen is, he can help handle uncertainty like nothing, right? I mean, no big deal, right? Zen is supposed to be like that. However, that is not philosophy. Like most of people go read some Zen book or the Six-Patriarch Sutra, and they say, oh, I have this enlightenment. That's a different thing. So you know that it has to go 6-13-3, and then it use the techniques like Anapanasati, it get into the rest of the breathing, the mind rest, it put the body into the neutral state, and the mind at that time is really stable, and it is that in that state one be able to handle this uncertainty is just normal. Unless we are there, if we're using our purple mentality and purple type of body, because the mind, the energy do shape our body. With the purple type, we can read all the Zen book. We can think we understand. Okay? And we really don't know what it is. It's just about a month ago, I was in Germany first time with my cousin. So she was telling me that she read this because she like Chinese culture and religions and so forth. So she read this Zen stuff, it's so good, she get it. And I said, you know what you get is no different than reading a romance book or watching a good romance movie. Of course you get pissed off when I'm saying that, right? Oh, how can you say that? Blah, 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 blah. I said, come on. Serious, okay? I don't want to screw you. That is what it is. That's not what the Zen is about. So I share with you today. Zen style, you have to get into this uncertainty is normal, no sweat. So in the Zen, the song like Enlightenment, he said that if you want me to drink poison, make my day. Okay. If you want my head, make my day. I give it to you. Okay. So that is from the Zen patriarchs before. Okay. Like the second patriarch, third patriarch of Zen, you can read about it. The emperor want to beheaded them. They say, okay, go ahead, take it. Because they're enlightenment being, body is just body. Okay. It's a totally different paradigm there. Okay. So the reason I get into all this is want you to see that the world is very big. Okay. It is not just like, oh, I learned this chain punch from Red Bull and it is ultimate Wing Chun. Okay. And I can be #1 fighter. It's not. It's much, much bigger. It's like we look into the night sky, so broad, okay? And you look at Bruce Lee, if you use this kind of mentality and mindset, look at Bruce Lee's Tao of Jeet Kune Do and so forth, you can see that he is working hard, trying to attain or accomplish this type of stuff. He knows something is there, but one unlucky of him is that he's not in our era, our internet era. We can get informations in our fingertip really fast. Well, for him to find out things 40, 50 years ago, it's very difficult, right? So I share this to you today is to conclude it. No, diplomatically, I have to learn to be speaking diplomatically with you guys, right? It is very, 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 very not likely that those idiotic stance is using in the Red Bull, because that can get people killed. Okay, and I don't think our ancestor is so idiot enough that they want to get his people killed. Okay, because we know the Army 29 real life, what happened. Okay. The second thing is all is about momentum. Anything violating momentum, it doesn't make sense. Okay, so my answer for the questions of is this thing is from Red Bull, I say I already tell the answer. And what we can know is that whatever thought in the Red Bull has been distorted, but somebody with the purple type of mind say, oh, this is what it is, this is what it is. Even them, they don't know what it is. Okay, and to be a real designer of Wing Chun, or in that level of Wing Chun, you need to get to be like Bruce Lee way of that kind of level. Okay, like in the spiral dynamic, the yellow type of the level, really that's like spiral dynamic, because this is it is better to use this to explain to you what actually those ancient Chinese or those grandmaster have in their mind and body and energy, instead of we just speculate whatever we think it is, which is we have no idea what it is or it is not. Okay. So this is to share with you today, and also I share with you today that 613.3 is just a kindergarten. If you want to transform this body, you need to get into the breathing rest and mind rest state. That is the real deal. In Chinese, it's called 心喜相随. 心喜, the mind and the rest of the breathing, they become one. Okay, And in all real deal, internal cultivations, one need to get into that, and only after one get into that, one can handle one's energy, chi. Before that, forget about it. Okay? And this is reality. So I hope you see this. And yes, there are still a lot of good master in this world who know this kind of thing. Okay? The 心喜相依 and all this resting. Otherwise, I cannot learn, right? I learn from other people too. So I just learn and I share it with you. There's a lot of good master here, but you know, because they are doing educations, cultivation, they are not doing business, so they don't have big name. But if you look for it, you will find. So this is for you today.